If any of you guys have been following me for a while, you know I've been talking about 90s, 2000 stars in soccer and the fact that I felt they were kind of undervalued. I bought a bunch of raw stuff overseas from Spain. We're talking about Iniesta, Xavi, Sergio Ramos, these stars cards that I felt were pretty rare and I was able to get for cheap considering how old they were and the fact that they were in good condition. I sent them express to PSA literally the day before they cut off submissions and I finally got them back. I paid a pretty penny to get them graded. I don't think I've ever spent this much on grading. The entire bill was $1,300 or something, but we got some good grades. We also got some bad grades. So I wanted to share with you guys and see how we did. But real quick before we get into it, don't mind my black eye. I don't think you can really see it in the video, but we had one of our first games the other day. I ended up playing pretty well here in the Philippines, so I'm happy about that, but I got a little shiner to show for it, so don't mind that. And also we got some Erling Haaland stickers back that I also got from overseas. So real quick before I show you the Iniesta and stuff like that, you know, I'm repping the vintage jersey because it's only right. We'll take a real quick look at my Erling Haaland sticker submission as well. 4 cards, which we also did all right on. All right, so the packages are right there. Shout out KK Sports Cards and actually Sunday League Investors. Brian, you guys probably know him. He's the one who facilitated this whole submission. So really excited to get into it and see what we actually got on these cards. First off, Erling Haaland 6. A tough grade, but you know, stickers are a tougher grade than cards in general. And the good news too is these cards right here, I sent them on stickers. I sent these on a 20-day and I'm only into them 55, including cost and grading and everything. So not too bad, hoping for better grades on the stickers to come, but it's nice to at least have this slabbed up and protected. Next up, we have a 7, so at least we're moving in the right direction. Still not quite the grade we want, but actually surprisingly, there's a lot of PSA 6s and 7s selling on eBay pretty frequently for, if I'm not mistaken, at least over $100. So I should be able to get my money back on these. Haaland is a big time prospect that people are excited about. So for $50 to have a rookie sticker slabbed up, I don't think I should have too much problem moving this, but still hoping for a better grade. Next up, we keep the streak of 7s going. You know, it's tough. I remember looking at these, the centering wasn't perfect. I don't even know. I know there's a whole like different print run issues. The coloring on the left border is different depending on like when these were printed. And I think it actually varies even just within these 4 that I got back right here. So it's tough, but once again, we have one more. So I think we still have a good shot at getting a nice grade. And boom, there it is. There's the 9. I remember one of these looked really, really good. So I was like, okay, I think I'll get at least one big one back. And there it is. These have come down a lot in price. At one point, these were selling for absurd numbers. And I got this whole lot for $150. So that's how I was able to keep my price so low. And I was like, man, I could sell something I bought for $50 for $2,000. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. But still, at the very least, even if all those other ones just disappeared, this one will cover the cost of the submission. So really happy. Once again, with stickers, tough grade. So cannot complain about a 9 at all. So first, now we're into the Sunday League Investors, kind of that vintage submission I hinted at. We're starting off with the bar very, very low with the Xavi PSA 2 here. I honestly don't know what happened. I looked over these. I'm not going to pretend to be the grading expert, magnifying glass, all this stuff. I take a look at them, but I definitely miss things. But what makes me think about this one, I don't think I would have missed this, first of all. There's a crease on the back. I'm not sure if you guys can really see that, but I would have seen that for one. And even more than that, Brian from Sunday League Investors would have seen that as well. So I'm not going to throw out a PSA conspiracy theory here, but I don't know what happened. This one was disappointing. Next one, this is a little bit better, a PSA 6. I think this is it for this submission, the only 2 Xavis. Did not do well on these, unfortunately, but the good news is I think these are probably the lowest value ones in this submission in terms of just raw. So if I was to do bad on some, it's all right that it's these. I'm into them like 275. I think pretty much every single card, I just averaged it out. It was about $100 that I paid for each of them. So I'm only into these 275. May not get my full money back, but once again, you know, like $200 for this card, 175. I think I can get that pretty easily. And once again, we're hoping the rest of it can kind of bring up this submission. Boom, Sergio Ramos PSA 8. I just really like this card, honestly. The look of it. There's one on PWCC auctions right now, a PSA 9 that is already over 1,000. So these are doing numbers. This is a card, if I remember, actually, I checked this one out. This is the one I was the most worried about. It might be the centering. I can't see it perfectly right now. That was kind of an issue, but the rest of the card looked really, really good. Obviously, that moved to PSG, kind of getting some hype. A bunch of people talking about him. I mean, one of the best defenders of all time, really. So I would say I would shoot 8s and aboves, especially for older cards like this. I will take every single day of the week. Raul Mundicromo. I have so many of these. Actually, I have an SGC 9.5, so that's the one I'm kind of keeping, so I'm not too stressed anymore about these. Once again, probably not one I'm gonna get my money back. The comps on these have come down a lot, but an all-time player, and you know, a 7's all right. The 7 is like maybe my least favorite grade, because to me the 8 is just solid, it's good to go, and the 7 is just kind of like, I'm not a big fan of, but you know, it's okay. You can't win them all with older cards like these, especially. Iniesta, PSA 7, another 7. Not really what we're looking for, but you know, these do more numbers than the Xavis. I think raws of these, if I'm not mistaken, are selling for like $300 pretty consistently. So I'm into this even less what a raw would cost me. So I don't think I'll have any issues moving it if I decide to, but nice card. Really happy to, you know, just even have this in the collection. I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. The cost of a Zion Optic, I can get a legendary card like this, no problem for me. Boom, Iniesta 8. I was really happy when I saw this grade. Once again, I just feel those 8s are solid. This is probably, you know, I have the values and what I've paid down below, so I'll get it more accurately after the video, but I'd imagine this is maybe like a maybe $750 card. So this is real solid. I thought the Iniestas looked pretty good. I'm pretty happy to get this one right here. And this one, boom, 9. Throw the fire explosion on there. 9. When I saw this one, I was ecstatic. This made the whole submission worth it, honestly. And I actually already sold this one. I sold this for $1,600 on a card I'm only into for $275. So really happy on that. Kind of proved it right. And honestly, there's people out there who are better than me at identifying raw cards and looking them over, so you can do even better. Really happy. Paid for pretty much the whole submission just with this one. I was a little torn because this is a card, especially in a 9, I don't think you'll be able to find too often, but that's a pretty strong price to pay. I mean, even like Messi, it was really Messi Mega Cracks. A PSA 9 actually is around that price. It's like $2,500. And I was just like, I'd rather have a Messi Mega Cracks probably if it came into it. I feel like I can do more with that money. So it's tough to let this one go, but luckily I still have at least like the 8 to hold on to. And I totally forgot about this one. This wasn't even vintage, but this was the only modern card in that submission. Haaland, Purple Refractor, Topps Finest, PSA 9. I was really looking forward to those Iniestas and Xavis coming back, and I really, like I said, I forgot this one was in it. But then when it came back and I saw that 9, I was so happy. I just think these are great looking cards. I will forever, I don't want to say to the grave, but I will always be on the Salzburg kit bandwagon. I think that should be his most important card. Numbered Haaland, PSA 9. This one is, once again, probably going to justify the submission. It had a lot of scratches too. Like I remember Brian, Sunday League Investors, was saying, oh, I don't think this one is going to get a good grade. But it's just kind of a reminder to me, honestly, PSA is a little bit of it's a roll of the dice. I've seen some bad cards get a 9, and I've definitely seen people talk themselves out of setting in certain cards. And you got to be careful. You can't just send in everything, but to have this slabbed up and protected in a 9 is huge for this card. So pretty happy with that submission. I think we did well. There were some big cards in there, obviously some pretty big misses in there as well, but really happy. Once again, shout out to SLI for the help. Thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.